We're at Paradise Island Resort in the Maldives.
We spent a wonderful 4 days here in Paradise, and we can't wait to tell you everything you need to know before you book. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Max.
I'm Marin.
We're Voyager Guru. We post weekly videos with travel tips, hotel reviews, and videos from some of our favorite destinations around the world. So if you don't already, consider subscribing. And of course, if you like this video and you find the content useful, be sure to give us a thumbs up. It really helps our videos get more exposure and produce more videos just like this. That brings us to our first category, which is location.
Location we rate 4 stars. Paradise Island Resort is one of the original resorts here in the Maldives, and it's located approximately 15 minutes from Malé.
One of the best parts about this location is its convenience. It's only 30 minutes from Malé by speedboat, which is really great, particularly if you're going for a shorter length of time. Sometimes transfers between when your plane arrives and you have to take a seaplane to a neighboring island can sometimes be a little bit convenient and really cut into your vacation because seaplanes don't fly at night, and so oftentimes the times don't really overlap. So being just a boat transfer away is really convenient.
The lagoon at this resort is incredible. The water is impeccably calm absolutely everywhere on the resort, which makes it a really nice area for swimming and doing any water sports.
In the development of this resort, they built up external barriers so it keeps out the rough water, and even on the windward side where the dominant wind is coming in, it's actually surprisingly calm. And then on the other side where the overwater villas are, the water is pristinely calm. It is a little less picturesque at low tide. There's a lot of dead coral and algae that do tend to come out of the water at the very low tide moment, but the rest of the day it's beautiful and pristine, and it makes a great place to go snorkeling because there actually is a surprising amount of sea life in this area. From the resort, you can also see the neighboring Malé, as well as Gili Lankanfushi and another local island. Being so close to Gili Lankanfushi actually is a really cool view because they have extraordinary villas, and so that is actually kind of a big bonus to be able to look over in that direction, and it makes for kind of a picturesque Maldives view. And we're a distance away from Malé and Malé here, where you don't really get too much from the lights at night. I'd say the only distraction from being in this particular area is the air traffic. There's one right there. From both large international planes as well as seaplanes that do fly particularly low on their flight path through this area, so you do get a lot of that throughout the day. And there is quite a bit of boat traffic as well on the front side from some pretty heavy boats, so there does tend to be kind of a lot going on between transportation and traffic. But overall, the island is really beautiful, picturesque, and there's these gorgeous white sand beaches pretty much no matter where you are. Our second category is lobby and check-in.
Lobby and check-in we rate 4 stars. The lobby and check-in experience in the Maldives actually starts at the airport when you arrive on your international flight. You're typically greeted by a representative from Paradise Island Resort and taken to wait for your speedboat in the waiting area. Malé Airport is an open-air airport and there is no AC, and while the wait can only be up to around 45 minutes, there isn't a lot of seating in the airport itself.
It is worth considering that they don't have a lounge currently. That is something we'd like to see them add in the future, as even though it is a shorter wait than you might find if you're transferring by seaplane, it is still a significant wait if you are waiting for other people to come off your plane, and there's not a huge amount of amenities or seating in the Malé airport. Once you've met the representative, they take you to the dock where you get on a speedboat and head to the island. It's only about a 30-minute ride, and they do have a variation of different boats depending on how many people they have arriving, as well as how rough the sea is. We got a little bit unlucky and I think had the least desirable of the options for boat transfers. They put life preservers on us, which was a little bit concerning. That's a first for all of the boat transfers that we've had here in the Maldives, but we were told on property that oftentimes they do use different boats that are nicer speedboats and slightly a little bit faster as well, so that 30-minute time can be cut down a little bit to about 20 to 25 minutes. And they've also told us that they are going to be introducing a new fleet of boats as well coming up in the future as this hotel continues to do new renovations. And so although our boat experience was not great and certainly under the transfer experience, I think we decided to rate it a little bit higher than we would have otherwise because they are getting that new fleet of boats and because it seems like we might have gotten a little bit unlucky with the boat that we were on and the transfer.
Once we arrived to the property, it was a completely different experience. We were greeted by the management team, we're seated at the dock with some welcome beverages and cold towels, and from there taken by our island host to the bar to check in. And that whole experience was really seamless and really wonderful.
we were then taken directly to our room where we were showed around, given the thorough tour of our water villa, as well as a tour around the property, showing us all the various restaurants and amenities that they have here on Paradise.
Your island host does give you their WhatsApp number, so you can contact them at any time if you need a buggy or reservations or anything like that.
Which brings us to our third category, rooms.
Rooms were rated 3.5 stars. We were checked into our water villa, which is a beautiful view of this perfectly calm lagoon. The water villa itself has a really nice bathtub outside, a covered daybed, as well as some chaise lounges and a dining set. The villa itself has a great king bed, television, and a beautiful bathroom with a double vanity and a newly renovated shower. This property is kind of in the middle of a major renovation, so some of the rooms that you'll find on property are going to be a lot newer, a lot cleaner, and more modern in the style that they're moving forward with. However, the other chunk of rooms, particularly the water villas, are on the much older side. During this trip, we had the opportunity to stay in a water villa as well as one of their one-bedroom haven suites with a pool and a jacuzzi.
In general, the rooms are a little bit on the older side, a little bit tired. They've actually started to do renovations across the beach villas, and so many of the beach villas are already done today. You can go check it out on the website. If you look at the beach pool villas as well as the deluxe beach pool villas, those have been renovated and are a completely different style. So we're excited to see as those renovations come towards the water villas and across the property. It's going to make a lot of difference in how nice the rooms are here, particularly if they look anything like those deluxe beach pool villas, which we unfortunately weren't able to get access to because of occupancy at this time. They were all full, but we look forward to seeing those renovations take place across the property.
The room does come with a fully stocked minibar. Part of that minibar is available if you're on the all-inclusive package, otherwise minibar is chargeable. The bathrooms do have his and her amenity kits, which is a really nice touch. In the future, we'd love to see them upgrade their bath products, in particular the shampoo and conditioner, which is currently a single product, which could really add a little bit more of that high-touch elegance. In addition to the beach villas, beach pool villas, and water villas, they do have a number of suites, one of which we had the opportunity to stay in. We're currently in the Haven Suite, which is a one-bedroom suite with a pool, jacuzzi, and a lot of living space.
The bones of this room are fantastic. It is a very large space with an incredible pool deck, and I'm really excited to see the renovation as they bring in new furniture here, a completely different look, and I think there's a huge opportunity for these rooms to be really up-leveled and brought to a really luxury experience.
If you are looking to book in the next 6 to 12 months from when we are here in June 2022, we would highly recommend looking at booking the beach pool villa or the deluxe beach pool villa, as they are renovated and are going to be a more modern experience.
Our fourth category is service.
Service we rate 4 stars. In general, we have found the service here to be excellent. All of the staff members are really well trained, they are extremely polite, and they really want to do everything they can to help you as a guest.
As part of the up-leveling of this resort, one of the places they decided to start was with service and the soft product, and I think they've done a fabulous job. A lot of the staff have undergone Forbes service training, and you can really tell that it's made a huge difference in terms of the level of service that's offered at this property. You can tell everywhere from wait staff at the dining venues all the way to housekeeping that there's a lot of changes here on property that seem to be really positive and really increasing the level of service across property.
Even our housekeeping attendant has been so incredible. At Turndown, he folds our clothes that might be lying around the room on the chair or on the bed, and it just shows that they're really passionate about their job and also are doing a really great job at it. This is a really large hotel, so there are a few areas of service that we'd love to see improved in the future, particularly around flexibility of their menus if you're on meal plans, operational issues, and some increased flexibility around check-in and check-out times that better correspond to flight schedules.
In general, most of the staff interactions that we've had here on property have been really good, and everybody seems to be trying to put their best foot forward. A lot of employees are a little bit newer, but they are really eager to please, and in particular, we had a really great experience with service staff, particularly at dining venues and by the pool. It's really great that you can get pool service, and that actually is included on the all-inclusive package, which is pretty cool. Our fifth category is dining.
Dining we rate 3.5 stars. On property, we've had a couple of really amazing meals and some very inconsistent meals as well. We are on the all-inclusive plan, so we do have access to their main buffet restaurant, both the main restaurant available to all beach guests, as well as the lagoon restaurant that's available exclusively for water villa guests.
Interestingly enough, although the lagoon restaurant is exclusively available to water villa guests, and as a water villa guest, you can go to both the beach restaurant as well as the lagoon restaurant. We did actually find that the beach buffet restaurant, which is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, was a better experience than the lagoon restaurant. The lagoon restaurant is obviously in a picturesque area. However, the beach one is also right along the pool, has a beautiful view of the pool, beautiful view of the ocean. But the main difference really came down to food. The menu items at the lagoon restaurant seemed much more limiting at the buffet, and there wasn't a huge amount of variety between breakfast, lunch, lunch and dinner. We particularly found that between lunch and dinner, it seemed to be almost the exact same menu, and most days there was very few things that changed. However, at the beach restaurant, we found that from day to day, we were seeing new items, and there was also significantly more staff there that were actively making things. I felt like in general, the buffet seemed a little bit fresher because you had staff that were actively cutting fruit, cooking chicken skewers, doing that type of thing.
There are also 3 a la carte options on property. There's an Italian restaurant that recently underwent a complete menu change to provide a much higher level of service and food. There is a seafood restaurant, which is kind of their premier restaurant on property that offers a delicious menu of fish and meat, as well as a Japanese restaurant that has a teppanyaki table and some sushi. We were able to try the seafood and the Italian restaurants, and we really enjoyed the seafood restaurant.
The seafood restaurant is definitely the highlight of this property. I think in general, their food was the most consistent. We went there twice, and every dish that we had was really good, really well presented, well prepared, and the service at that restaurant in particular, I think, was the highest level of service of the dining experiences that we went to. The Italian restaurant was probably the other highlight, and although some of the menu items were fabulous, like the pizza and the burrata salad that we had, some of the menu items were a little less consistent, and so I think that's one area that they could improve, just improving the consistency of those menu items. But as we were told, it is a new menu, and so hopefully they're just working their way through some of those menu items and perfecting them like they have done with that seafood restaurant.
There is a lot of confusion around the meal plans on property. For example, there's an all-inclusive package, and at the time of this review, there was also only a full board option. The all-inclusive package is not truly all-inclusive. There is a separate drink menu, as well as the option to only go to the buffet without paying the a la carte prices. Unless you stay a certain number of nights, you're allocated one meal at one of those other restaurants. So we do think they could do some work there around making the meal packages more clear, or simply deciding to make them all-inclusive or not.
Along those lines, it is also worth noting that the full board package does not include non-alcoholic beverages either. So coffee, teas, juices, soft drinks are all also going to be on the non-all-inclusive package. So if you are looking to have something like mocktails included, then you would actually have to book the all-inclusive package and not the full board package. If you want to learn more about packages and inclusions, make sure to go check out our video that we have all about meal plans and understanding the meal plan that you're booking before you go. You can check out that video linked right up here in the top right. Although food was a bit inconsistent this time around, it does seem like, just like everything else on property, they're making huge improvements and huge strides to try and improve the overall quality of both the service and food across this property. They did actually, just before we got here, introduce a new cocktail menu, and I can tell you some of the cocktails on that are fantastic. Our favorite one in particular was the Time to Unwind, a beautiful white wine cocktail that was refreshing, and we enjoyed quite a few. Our 6th category is facilities.
Facilities we rate 4 stars. This property is massive and has a lot of opportunity for guests, particularly if you're looking to have an active vacation. They have a gym, they have squash courts, tennis courts, spa, water sports. I mean, there's really a lot going on here on property.
Some of the facilities are a little bit aging, and some of them are brand new. There's really kind of a wide variety of mixed things here. They have an indoor gym, which has pretty much everything you can imagine that a gym would have. It's a really full gym, although things are a little bit on the older side, and the air circulation isn't great. So they have actually built another gym, which is outside, a totally outside gym on the beach, which is kind of funky and also makes for some great photos. But across property, there really is a huge amount of facilities here. I think just like everything else on this property, they're progressively moving things to improve them. And if you look at the pool that they just recently built, they've improved the pool. It looks absolutely gorgeous, and they've started to change over a lot of the furniture and create much more comfortable spaces, new bars, new lounge areas, improvements on existing facilities. There's a lot of stuff actively going on.
They do also have a lot of paid excursions that you can take. For example, if you're not a big swimmer or snorkeler, you can take a semi-submarine experience that takes you around the outside of the island for about 30 minutes, where you can see a lot of fish. They also have a number of snorkeling, diving, and anything else you can think of type of excursions. We did have the opportunity to go to a sandbar and turtle snorkeling, which was amazing. We saw so many turtles, and it was a really good time.
We had a great snorkeling trip. We saw sharks, we saw huge schools of fish, and it was a really great experience. You can, of course, snorkel here on property as well. They do offer snorkeling gear to all-inclusive guests for free, which you can check out for the day, and you can snorkel around this area. Now, while there might not be a lot of coral, questionably there are a lot of fish, which is an interesting thing. They do feed the fish, and they do have some feeding activities where they feed both sharks and stingrays. It's not exactly the most eco-friendly thing, and it's something that in the future I think we'd like to see them get rid of, as there is such an opportunity to introduce more of a marine biology approach here and still have a rich and thriving ecosystem where you have tons of fish without having to go through that
They do also rent bicycles on property. They are not free, you can pay for them, and you can keep those for the duration of your stay. They do also offer some electric ways of getting around, like a little electric scooter as well. Lastly, we were able to check out the spa, which was actually an amazing experience. The spa is beautiful and has a number of outdoor treatment rooms. We were able to partake in a massage and a bath experience, and I would absolutely have come back to that spa if we were staying any longer.
Our seventh and final category, style.
Style will rate 4 stars. They are making massive improvements to modernize this property, and we are really excited about the style changes they're making. Half of the pool has already gotten some of the new pool furniture in, and we are so excited about it.
Honestly, if the new pool style is anything to go off of, the style here is really on an upward swing. And while the majority of the property still is on a little bit of the older side and certainly does need to go through those renovations, it's great to see that a lot of the things that they have renovated already are really upping the level of style, the level of comfort, and just in general, the decor and feel of those spaces across the property is really high end.
Overall, we rate this property 3.9 stars. We are really excited to come back when the renovation's completed. This has so much potential, and we can't wait to experience it.
Paradise Island is part of Villa Hotel Groups, which is a Maldivian-owned brand, and they're really passionate about bringing these hotels back up to the level that they once were, and really improving the experience for guests and providing a truly luxurious vacation and luxurious experience across all of their portfolio properties. And if you like this review, make sure to go check out our review of Sun Island, which is also a Villa Hotels resort, which you can find linked on the end screen.
So if you like this video, be sure to give us a thumbs up.
And of course, if you don't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for many more videos from here in the Maldives and around the world.
And if you don't already, follow us on Instagram at Voyager Guru. If you do already follow us, you would have seen the entire story of our stay play out in our stories and our feed. So again, be sure to check out Voyager Guru.
For more information about our travels, as well as helping you book travel around the world, here in the Maldives and elsewhere, be sure to go check out our website at voyagerguru.com, where we have tons of useful information and insights.
And as always, I'm Marin.
And I'm Max.
And we're Voyager Guru. See you out there.